Okay, look at here once. So listen your question. Okay, what do you have to multiply each of this number by to obtain the answer 1? Can you tell me by what we have to multiply for 1 by 2 to obtain the answer 1? Here is one fraction. You have to get the answer 1 by multiplying it by any fraction. You can multiply it by any fraction. But what you have to get there? You have to get the answer 1. Can you guess what fraction is there? What will be the fraction? Okay, Marcus told that that is 2. All right, other, is that 2? If you multiply it by 2, then will it be a 1? The product will be 1, is it? Look at here, okay. Let's multiply it by 2. If you multiply it by 2, what it will be? 2 and 2 will be cancel, isn't it? Then what is left here? 2 and 2 is cancel means 1 is left. Okay, or if you multiply numerator also, there will be 2, 1 2s are 2. In denominator, if you multiply 2 and there is no denominator means here is 1, you can remember in that way. Yeah? If you multiply 2 and 1 also, denominator also will be 2. If you divide 2 by 2, that is 1 or not. Look, that means if you multiply 1 by 2 by 2 by 1, what will be the result? Look at here, what will be your result? The result will be 1, right? So similarly, look at here, okay, that same thing. If you multiply this by 2 or if you multiply this by 2 by 1, then it will be 1, okay? And by what you have to multiply for this 10? Can you tell me? By what we have to multiply this 10 to get the answer 1? Tell me. Tell me, please. By what you have to multiply? 10 should be multiplied by what? You can unmute and try it. Let's try. Sagun, can you try it? If you multiply 10 by 10, will it be 1? Remember that 10 tens are how much? 10 tens is 100. That's not 1. So by what you have to multiply? You have to multiply it by 1 by 10. Okay, you have to multiply it by 1 by 10. Look, if you multiply it by 1 by 10, 10 does not have denominator means it has 1. Okay, if there is no denominator, we can add there as a 1. So if you multiply numerator also, it will be 10. 10 ones are 10. In denominator also 10 ones are 10. So divide numerator by denominator. What it will be? That will be 1, right? And similarly, can you tell me by what we have to multiply for this 2 by 3? 2 by 8, sorry, 2 by 8 to get the answer 1? 2 by 8. 2 by 8 should be multiplied with? What is your answer? Try it. Just make it opposite. Anyway, to get the answer 1 in numerator also, you have to get. In numerator and denominator, you have to get the equal number or not. Look, 2 by 8 is there. So multiply 2 by 8. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Adriti, yes, he told 8 by 2. Yeah, 8 by 2, look, 8 2 is also, in numerator also it will be 16. In denominator also it will be 16. Or instead of this, if you multiply it by 4 also, it will be same, okay? You'll get the answer. You'll get the answer 1. So by what you have to multiply here? Either it's by 4. If you multiply it by 4 also, look, you'll get the same answer or not. Look at here. If you multiply by 4, then in numerator also 2 4s are 8. In denominator also there is already 8. So if you divide 8 by 8, your answer will be 1 or not. Or simply you can reverse the fraction. Look, you have 2 by 8. If you multiply it by 8 by 2, what will be your answer? Your result will be 1. And this 5, this 5 should be multiplied by what? Can you tell me? Okay, I got the one. Okay, other also. Yeah, I got the 3 answer. If you multiply 5 by 1 by 5, then it will be what? 1, right? Yeah, most of you told that. It's not by 1. Okay, if you multiply it's by 1, Check your answer. If you multiply 5 by 1, what it will be? If you multiply 5 by 1, well, the answer will be the 1. 5 1 is 1 or 5. If you multiply 5 by 1, that is not 1. That is what? 5. So instead of this, if you multiply it by 5, what will be your answer now? 1 by 5, okay, not by 1. If you multiply it by 1 by 5, look here, 5 and 5 will be cancelled, isn't it? 5 and 5 will be cancelled. So what is left now? 1 is left. So what will be your answer? 1 by 1, or simply you can write 1 also, right? So next, can you tell me by which we have to multiply for 2 by 3? Yes, that's great. Okay, I got a lots of answer. So Yogi or Rihan, that's great. Okay, so your answer is what? 3 by 2. Good. Or 3 by 2 we can write in a mixed fraction also. 3 by 2 if you write in mixed fraction, what it will be? 1 whole 1 by 2, or 3 by 2 means same or not? Mixed number fraction. This is a improper, so you can convert it into mixed number fraction also. So can you get here one pattern? Look, to get the result 1, there is one pattern. Can you identify that pattern? To get the result 1 by multiplying the given fraction by any fraction, then we can see one types of pattern you can see there. Can you explain me what is that pattern? Okay, multiply first and divide. Somebody told that. First need to multiply. By what types of number we have to multiply? By what types of number we have to multiply? By the opposite one. That's great. Okay. Look, if you multiply any fraction by opposite of its, means if you convert like numerator into denominator and denominator into numerator, look, it's just opposite. 1 by 2 is here. Here is what? 2 by 1, isn't it? Opposite. Just we have changed the position of numerator and denominator, right? So at the time, what we will get? Always we will get result equals to 1. Or if you multiply by its equivalent fraction, also you will get result 1, okay? Like 2 by 8, if you multiply it by 8 by 2, look, in simple language, we can say, if you multiply 2 by 8 by 8 by 2, the result is 1. That means if you change the numerator and denominator one place and multiply the given fraction, then at that time, we'll get the result 1. And what we call for that, that's we call reciprocal. That's we call reciprocal of a fraction. So here, 1 by 2, 1 reciprocal is what here? What is the reciprocal of 1 by 2? To get the result 1, this 1 by 2 should be multiplied by 2 by 1, isn't it? So reciprocal of 1 by 2 is 2 by 1. Reciprocal means just the opposite fraction. All right, you can understand in that way in simple language. So to get the reciprocal, what we have to do? We have to multiply any fraction by changing their position. Means numerator will go in denominator and denominator will go in a numerator, right? 1 is in numerator, it will go in denominator. Okay, in that way we will do it. That's we call reciprocal. All right, do you got it? Look, what we call for that? That's a reciprocals. Reciprocal of a given fraction or a given number. That may be number also. We can find the reciprocal of any given number or any given fraction. So look at here, that same thing, okay? In first question, we multiplied 1 by 2 by 2. So you got the answer 1. So reciprocal of 1 by 2 is what? That is 2 or simply 2 by 1, okay? That is C. In denominator, it's not compulsory to pronounce that 1, right? Simply we can pronounce it as a 2 also if there is 1 as a denominator. But if there is 1 in numerator, we can't tell that that's just a 2, okay? That is 1 by 2, that means half. Yeah, 1 by 2 means half. Yeah, 2 by 1 means it's like a double. Suppose you have 2 chocolate, if you eat 1, then that means you eat half. Yeah, so that is not equals to 2. 2 by 1 means what? You have 1 chocolate, you ate double of it, means 2 by 1. Yeah, you bought some more from the shop, maybe, yeah, then you eat it. Okay, so other, and that type of number we call the reciprocal, okay? And look, another fact, the product of number and its reciprocal must be 1. If it won't be 1, then that is not a reciprocal. If you multiply any fractional number or a whole number, if that result gives 1, then that number or a fraction we call the reciprocal. If it is not 1, that is not a reciprocal. To be a reciprocal, its product must be 1. Okay, if you multiply any two fraction and result is 1, then only they are the reciprocal of each other. That means, look, here is 2 by 3, for example, 2 by 3 and 3 by 2 are there. So 2 by 3 1 reciprocal is 3 by 2 each other. Okay, it's vice versa. Like 2 by 3 1 reciprocal is 3 by 2, and 3 by 2 and reciprocal is 2 by 3. It's the vice versa. That means it's supposed from the both way. It is valid from the both way, 2 by 3 or 3 by 2. All right. And next, or equivalent, already I told you, equivalent, the reciprocal of a number is 1 divided by that number. Okay, once look, did you got it? What that sentence telling here? Equivalently, the reciprocal of a number is 1 divided by that number. Okay, that means the equivalent fraction of any whole number is what it will be there, like the equivalent, sorry, the reciprocal of this 2 is, if you divide 1 by that 2, then reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2. The reciprocal of a number is, what is the reciprocal of a whole number? If you divide 1 by that same number, then that we call the reciprocal. Like 2 1 reciprocal is 1 by 2. 10 1 reciprocal is, tell me please, what is the reciprocal of 2? 10. Can you tell me what is the reciprocal of 10? Like you can type there. Yeah, 1 by 10. Okay. That's good. Great. So in simple language, what you can tell, look, the reciprocal of the fraction is the fraction turned upsides down. Means if you reverse their position, then you will get the equivalent fraction. The best, easiest method is if you reverse their position, okay, upside down. Suppose you have 4 by 5. Now to get the reciprocal, what you have to write? Just make it upside down. Upside down. Okay, that means 5, write it up. Means denominator write as a numerator, and numerator write as a denominator. All right, that's a reciprocal. And if you multiply this, then here you will get the result 1. Or if you multiply, look, you have 4 by 1. If you multiply this by the equivalent fraction of 5 by 4, also you'll get the result 1. Okay, suppose this 5 by 4 is your reciprocal, and what will be the equivalent fraction for this? Okay, let me multiply this both by 2 to get the reciprocal. Okay, equivalent reciprocal fraction. Let me multiply this reciprocal fraction by 2. What I will get? 5 2 is 10, 4 2 is 8. So if you multiply any fraction by the equivalent fraction of its reciprocal, also you will get the result 1. Look at here, 4 10 is also in numerator, also 40, 5 8 is also 40. 40 by 40 means 1 or not? Yeah. So if you multiply any fraction by the equivalent fraction of reciprocal, 5 by 4 is a reciprocal, okay, or the equivalent fraction of 5 by 4, I simply wrote here 10 by 8 by multiplying it by 2. So at that time also we'll get the result 1. Okay. Okay. That same things already discussed here. The reciprocal of 12 is 1 by 12. This is because 12 is same as the 12 by 1, isn't it? You know it, right? That's the concept of reciprocal. All right. 12 1 reciprocal is what? The reciprocal of 12 is 1 by 12. Okay, this is because 12 is the same as 12 by 1. Means if there is no denominator, you can simply add 1. If you reverse it, what will be the reciprocal? Make here upside down. Upside down. That means 12 by 1 is 1 by 12. So that's the reciprocal. Can you write the reciprocal of any number in this way? Okay. So why we have learned this, in division, we need it. While dividing any two fraction, we need that reciprocal. Okay, we need that reciprocal, and now we will use that as well.